Well, honestly, Ravish, if this has been a tale of straws and sticks, which one of these two teams has the brick house built is it's gonna be the question, right? And none other than a best of 5 to experience it. As things are gonna get started, it's just a bit of a default, but we do see the initiator and the duelist set up for the mound control on C here for Burger Boys.
Yeah, we were expecting a pretty aggressive start off. I remember you and I were talking about it before as well, Nerds, right? Because considering both these teams are actually pretty familiar with themselves on Lotus, as Alliance and Burger Boys played this map not too long ago, and it was Alliance who got the better of them just most recently in front of a tournament. So we'll see how things end up shaping out. For now, is just Bonnie looking to enter in the couple of seconds. Smoke to get put down, not in yet.
No, they're going to cancel that. And it does provide time for a rotate out of Alliance Guardians. Now both of the duelists are set up. Now for Alliance Guardians, I kind of half expect them to play in terms of some retakes, maybe even going for those aggressive plays early because they have double duelists on the defense at the start. I think Burger Boys are cognizant of that and trying to avoid getting run down. With the noise being made by Neon, it draws away the duelists. Wait, this is an early fake coming out for Burger Boys.
Yeah, Bonnie was kind of meandering over towards it to see anything could find, but just a quick walk in as well to Retro. Trying to get any shots that he can, but Foreign instead plays their lives. We'll go ahead and give it the side as well to should look to be a 5v5 retake on the pistol. Oh, already. Expected. Let's get it.
Expected, right? They want to play retakes with this composition for Alliance Guardians.
Indeed they do. Spike gets put down though. Wait for the rest of Alliance to go ahead and bunch up right towards Waterfall. Paranoid gets put in right towards the back of the site, but no actually found around there, so they managed to clip some sort of space. At least Sci-Fi goes down. That's the first thing, taking second contact. Lee Nanners in the corner. Oh, beautiful concuss, and Nanners and Bonnie collapse immediately on the rest of Alliance. And Burger Boys come out with the first.
Honestly, you're seeing so early them going for this sort of map control, sending Neon towards the A site, allowing Bonnie to explore that and drawing a little bit of the pressure away from C. It's pretty interesting, right? Because sometimes you'd expect teams, especially, you know, coming out of it, to just go really fast on a pistol when you have Bonnie set up for the spearhead. But no, they are going to be going for that more cerebral, like, okay, we're going to try and trick Alliance Guardians. And showing that respect early is going to set up Burger Boys for not only a lot of success, but more than that, it's going to make a very interesting match. Now, talking a bit more about the match, the buy-up, it's going to be a 3-2, meaning that they just need to keep 3 alive here, Ravish. And if they can, it's going to be a really solid eco for them for the attack. They're going to abuse that Outlaw, have 2 rifles, that head tap potential for the 3-round conversion. They're setting themselves up for success.
This is where we truly see the epitome of cringe in terms of just guns in this game, is between the Outlaw abusers and the Odin abusers. Right? And I remember that was that's the big question that a lot of people have to think about. Like, you know, what is truly worse? You know, pros can say, you know, Outlaw is crazy because it's one shot on eco, but like the Outlaw afterwards, hey, not that good. Odin, oh, that's good every round, baby. You can do whatever you want on that with the paper thin walls. Speaking of which, the walls will be set up around A.
True, right? And it was NRG famously Octagon here on Lotus dealing a lot of damage. So for Alliance Guardians, they're the one that needs to have it. But this plant's going to go down. They're going to try and go for the 5v5 retake here.
Yeah, Sci-Fi managed to actually go into Mound. Meanwhile, 2 taken away. A quick concession. This is actually not too bad. The Poseidon coming out on top. Pacto gone. This is somewhat hairy for Burger Boys as they managed to lose so many on their eco. But it is just Poseidon left. One shot should be able to do it. 3 bullets. Not gonna happen. Bonnie to clear him out.
Fair enough. They're trying to go for it. They do end up keeping 2 of those weapons, and I talked about how they're trying to build up that steamroll. Realistically, I expect maybe a buy out of Tillo, who has the economy for it, or dropping towards another teammate. They are also really close to Bonnie's ultimate, so it's a matter of, are they going to get that conversion? On the flip side, Alliance Guardian were teetering on the idea of getting that Odin, but haven't picked it up just yet. Realistically, Alliance Guardian need to win this round, and considering that we have 3 players on light shields, the choice to save this Outlaw from Practo, it's going to provide some value.
Yeah, you just don't want to make sure to just stop the snowball. Oh, clean shot from Foreign.
I spoke too soon.
Yeah, it's not necessarily going to go anywhere past that, sadly, but a good shot nonetheless. 4v5 will force Burger Boys back into the site. Tries to force away to see if they can, but there's 2 players waiting for them. That being Foreign and Sci-Fi. Trying to find their entry in though, but they'll just meander on the side, just look through the entrance. But A flash to walk in, but they're just keeping them held here. Spike is still holding firm around C. They have not made the entry just yet. There's the paranoia, along with the concussed double in the corner. Naz made his way just in. Sci-Fi watching the entry. Bonnie so clean with it. We're talking about the Neon all day on that desk. We're seeing how Bonnie does ridiculous things, and it comes to fruition quite quickly. Oh, unlucky from Retro, but cannot shut out Dunk on the flank onto B.
Still 3v3 retake. There's a little bit of utility here for the defensive side. We have that paranoia, a TP in, 2 flashes from Foreign. It's a matter of how they use it, how they can break through Burger Boy's stall.
At a time, though, second paranoia does go in, but they're all not holding good traditional angles. There's one by the Spike as well. 2 on the other end. Oh, Bonnie with these swings is disgusting, and an ace in the 3rd round from Bonnie. My God, this guy's an animal.
Yeah, something utility doesn't connect analysis. Bonnie! Just absolutely going huge. It doesn't matter what you have when you have an X factor like that as a player here. And honestly, wow, an immediate timeout as a reaction here to probably... my best guess would be to reset some of the mental, because that probably feels bad. And more than that, maybe talking about their strategies. Considering that the ultimate economy is going to be favoring Burger Boys in the long run, they start to build up that sort of regular economy, as well as those ults, Bonnie having his, as well as I think, if I'm not mistaken, who's planting? Tillo was planting most of the time to try and get that Rolling Thunder. I might be wrong on that, but regardless, the plants have been going down for Burger Boys. And that, on top of the fact that they're starting off on the attack side and getting a lot of those kills, means that they are going to have a very good half so far. And I don't mind the early timeout. It prevents them from getting to 6 and hopefully sways it back in Alliance Guardian's favor.
Exactly. Because you want to stop the snowball early, right? That is the big thing that we were talking about and highlighting earlier, to ensure that we're not getting taken 5, 6, 7-0. Although in a map like Lotus, I have seen some pretty decent comebacks specifically. We mentioned it previously as well, right? Alliance Guardians, this is a map they're quite familiar with. They played our Burger Boys against this map twice now already, and they've come out on top as well too, most recently, albeit it was the same core with just one person being different, right? But nonetheless though, the ideas are the same, but Burger Boys have continued to evolve. They've been through the ringer, and we'll see if that continues. From here though, will the snowball favor them, or will Alliance put the first round on the board? As right now though, same C mount check we've seen, but finally a lean towards A.
More than a lean towards A, we have a stack little trap here. Bonnie's gonna be caught off, but catches beside it.
Yeah, that's a big first pick. Once again, though, the slide is disgusting. How is he getting 2 there, bro? Shoot him, man. Oh.
They can't even recover the rifle because it's dangerous. You still have Retro there. Tillo has already managed to get onto the A site, has the plant down, 1 away from an ultimate of his own, and you have Nanners there for even more protection.
It's impressive so far what we've seen from Burger Boys as they continue this streak. Spike gets put down the paranoia to stop them in the corner. Riker again trying to look for any sort of other pick, but remember, it's a save, right? So the timeout is for the next round over. That is unlucky, as Burger Boys will clean up the rest of them.
Weapon here.
And I mean, yeah, the utility was just there. Nanners managed to blind the player out from Alliance Guardian as he tried to enter and take the fight. The fight against Tillo was just a little bit unfortunate. You know, gotta get those sheriff death matches in to not have a little bit of panic. But this is kind of the round that I think Alliance Guardian is really talking about. Obviously, we did see a new look from them trying to go for that C pinch because they have had C mound control issues. But now that we do see the Odin out, we finally have the money for it, as well as full rifles and full shields. Should be a different look. Immediate Odin spray.
That's what we're talking about, right? Well, they'll play fast and loose over towards A. There you go, mount control again, and it's all in their favor. A round goes very so quickly. And although they take 2, Alliance finally get on the board.
Just fighting for the extremity, right? On the other side of the map, they kind of realized, okay, well, we fought towards B in the previous round on our eco. They went towards A. Let's just fight towards mound with the Odin that we have. And such a clean round victory early on is going to not only prevent the snowball and the bricks being laid for this house, but also allow them to start laying the foundation for themselves here for Alliance Guardian.
Oh, we talking about breaks again. All right, cool. Okay.
I don't know. You gotta keep the bit going. Just wait until map 5, as they said on the desk, and I'll bring the bricks up again.
I'm stopping right here. Nonetheless, though, like Flash to clear him off early, though. No, just amalgamation of gunfight right up against A main, but instead they'll just slow walk their way over Sci-Fi watching and Bonnie taken away. And that'll be a decent hit to Burger Boys.
Just take the challenge and it doesn't go in Bonnie's favor. Seems like a bit of confidence regained, and that's what I was talking about. A bit of anti-tilt on that timeout is also necessary here, as it looks like it's a swap up, a B hit instead.
Yeah, those immediate tilts over, but there's a 9-fault and you guys get information on the rest of the team. They all see they're in the paranoia to stop them entry, but it'll be a couple seconds before they actually all manage to make their way in, because realize the site is there. The spike should go down here as well too. And Alliance, let's see how they move their way into here.
Well, they have the player advantage as well as a good chunk of utility still waiting, probably for those refreshables off of Sci-Fi to get the haunt and trap them in towards the B site.
Foreign again, that can make a massive difference well too. Coming along across the flank, using the fake to delay them, but one taken away to 1-for-1 by the end. Nanas goes down inside of the smoke. That's what's the second Sci-Fi so clean. The double for him is 1 by 1. They get taken away. Burger Boys cannot stand against the retake of Alliance.
Trap and contain. And I think I said at the beginning of, actually during the pistol, where it felt like the composition for Alliance Guardian does favor retaking, and just this map in general favors playing a more exec heavy and executing, re-clearing into space, going for those re-challenges. And that's exactly what we've been seeing out of Alliance Guardian when it comes to the way that they retake. Specifically in that round, they just trapped and contained. Their entire MO there was to contain the players. And yeah, even though it did go scrappy and there was some gunfights that went in favor of Burger Boys, because they had that initial player advantage, they could afford to just go in for that and maintain their momentum here. Now they actually have 2 big power weapons. They have a Guardian, a Op and an Odin.
They're also going to choose as well Op along A and the Odin again. No early spam this time, but instead we're back towards the same conditioning that Burger Boys been putting forward, right? The same triple lean, but instead we're seeing a much further play by Practo, who goes really deep on A. That Op, then aware. Foreign gets the first pick immediately, and being down with no smoke, trying to enter into C, and no paranoia is going to be a bit troubling. On the side of Burger Boys, they're going to have to rely on Bonnie to make the space until they get a nice flash off, but the concuss there to get down 4, and Poseidon by Waterfall immediately executes Bonnie. Burger Boys against kind of floundering to see what they can get done. They get the spike down, but that should be about it.
I mean, they do have ultimates if they want to invest them, but it's a matter of getting picks first, and they don't get contained, but it's still a 5v5 retake. It's gonna be a 5v3, sorry, retake.
Yeah, as they'll put the ult down as well too, right? That's 3 right behind Paranoia. Tello has no idea he was there. And systematically, all gamers reading every play, and again, it's retake after retake after retake. And it's just been cleaned 3 rounds in a row. And with 2 taken out so early as well too. All gamers have almost tied this up. This is impressive.
Yeah, for Alliance Guardians, it's a really nice, that timeout really worked for them, right? It's like the timeout efficacy of like how it fixed some of their problems. For Burger Boys though, they seem to be trying some of the same stuff in terms of, we're gonna go for a little bit of control, take some solo fights, take some solo peeks, and trying to play that contact up into the choke points hasn't really been working for them. So I think we are going to be hopefully seeing a change out of them. If it is to try and, take fights together beforehand and maybe go for that initiator utility early, or whether it's just a force buy up here. We'll see. I mean, it is a force up for Burger Boys, so they have to be trying to win this round very dominantly also.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, right, you want to make sure that you can save as much as you can for this one specifically. No early picks taken. Speaking of which, though, Riker, that was beautiful.
Nice trap.
Oh, man, just, yeah, like you're saying, combination with the fade that sees alongside that nade, right, just cooks 2 of them, damage done across the board, and again, Burger Boys are left with 3 on this retake. Riker, if things shut down Nanners, that means that they've effectively shut them out of the round once again, but trying to delay where they can. The fault line is nice, but Doug and Riker again come back around, clear out the sites, and Burger Boys just cannot contend against anything AG are doing.
Yeah. Oh,
Nanners.
Spam on 2.
That's nice. Paranoia to stop him. He's just running on in. He's defusing, and he can't stop him.
Okay. Almost went a little south, but unfortunately for Burger Boys, unfortunately here for Alliance Guardians, they have at least 1 Guardian Angel looking down above them. Duck manages to come in at the perfect time to get the just to maintain some of it. But the fact that they lined up their Foreign and Rikers was a little spooky. Now this is interesting because it's a broken buy here. They bought the previous round. They didn't go for a save on account of the fact that they had an early lead that they started dominating with. And I think that it's a bit tough, because you're going to try and win this. I want to see what they change. They're just stacking players towards the C site, leaving one out towards A. It's the Vise. It's just Practo alone. I mean, they don't have any big ultimates, Ravish, to try and like sway it in their favor, other than maybe the Steel Garden.
Yeah, I mean, Steel Garden would be the ticket though, but the pop out, 1-for-1, but Bonnie finally managed to stay alive long enough, takes two in quick succession, and now Burger Boys have a chance to get back in the round. They know they have to fight early and fight dirty. And Alliance got a bit overconfident, not playing back. Now for this, it's a 4v3. The match with the side, that's the Steel Garden that you were talking about as well here too. And
they're waiting for that to dissipate. They're not only waiting for dissipate, but they're also waiting for the retake protocols for AG.
Exactly that, but should come in. No, the op is still a factor they have to maintain. With looking around, Nightfall also available if they want to use it.
Anti-retake.
From Retro, right? As they make the way in, double ult invested, Nightfall stopped. Tees were all 3 yards. They're maintaining themselves on the site. And seeing two, the crossfire available. Right to our entrance, the slide is clean. Duck gets one. They have to try to make their way in onto this too. With the spike is planted, it's not favorable for them outside. It's one more taken, and Doc again. This Odin and Op combination, these power weapons, remove them so quickly as they're on the outside.
And I mean, they had a plan for it, right? And for Burger Boys, they tried to play anti on the retake by using that Nightfall. And initially, they had the Steel Garden. And I felt weird being like at the beginning with. I mean, they don't have like, oh, they don't have such ultimates. And then they use those ultimates to demonstrate it. But the problem in my mind is that those ultimates, while really powerful, they couldn't really play off of them because of where they were positioned. And I think that's a part of what Burger Boys in this timeout is going to be discussing, because you saw the Nightfall go out, but you didn't really see a follow through. They played back towards Mound. And the composition that AG is running, the Guardians are running, is really good for retakes. That's not to say that Burger Boys haven't been doing well, though. They have been getting it down to one player. It's usually been Duck on that line. But at the end of the day, if you're losing rounds, you can't just, sit back and watch. You have to make sure to close them out, even if it is, 1 round difference between you and your opponent.
Exactly, right? And with 5 now in a row it's being taken by AG, you've got to think, right? Because if you're Burger Boys, that was a double investment ult round as well. And the big thing for that round too was that the spike just wasn't planted for them. They're playing outside by a mountain to try to contest it, but they're getting taken away in AMA, and they realize that, like, yo, bro, 2 of the guys we have on site are donezo. We have to walk into an Odin and Op? Nah, that's just not happening. Yeah. And so unfortunately, they'll just once again get taken over. This has to be the round where they start to come back here, though. Like we're talking about, they've been forcing up pretty consistently to get their eco back and stable.
Seems like a stack towards the B site and A for the defense. And I mean, this is a really easy pivot here for AG, especially once they get a whiff of what's going on.
Exactly that, as those run right on him. Bonnie taking away, no support on his end. Unlucky take. Oh man, it's 1 by 1. They're walking into them. They can't do it because they're playing like these ones by themselves, walking into open sidelines, dry peeking into murder. AG taking full advantage of that to take the round 1 by 1.
I mean, just a really easy pivot. Right, the moment they got an understanding that Burger Boys was going to try and go here post timeout, they probably discussed what Burger Boys was going to do. They're like, okay, well, they haven't been winning. They've been getting it down to 1 when they go for like a bigger stack. So if they go for a stack, let's either play anti-plant or even just same retake protocols that they've been running with. Having those big weaponry purchases work in their favor ever so consistently. And now that we're down to yet another eco here, it has to start, the question has to be asked of like, were the first couple rounds just a bit of Bonnie go kill?
A little bit seemed like it, but perhaps they can recover something from here. Although Sci-Fi taken, they have, 2 sheriffs and Stinger to make some work of the rest of the weapons that are there on AG.
Oh.
I mean, last time they faced in this half, it was a 6-6. He can try to come back. Beautiful shot from Nanners. This Odin can be taken here too. This is massive. They maybe could get control of the site. Come back, an unorthodox round. Stingers and Sheriffs to be able to take away from Odins and Ops. But I may spoken to soon. Tillo pipes up. Gets taken away just as quickly, and it's just Nanners now. Offensive in hand, 2 up against him, and Spike nowhere close by. This is tough. Does not want to get spammed. Needs his timing. Could walk his way through 35 seconds left here.
This point's just a matter of playing that recovery, but you don't really have much to work with. Paranoia is the only piece of utility left.
I have the spike.
And Spike at least taken, he's gonna have to try to walk through and get past the wall. They're providing perfect cover, and he gets away. He has to sprint, and it has to be on B when he gets the plant down.
10 seconds left.
But then again, it's just going to be a pretty solid pivot here for Alliance Guardian. It would need to be perfect for Nanners to take this risky, to take this eco round back into Burger Boy's hands.
He has the ultimate, so he could use that for a potential fake if he needs to. Just has to watch one angle, his baby door. That's the fake, and he knows that he has to play his times. Make sure he doesn't get taken away. That's 1 for Nanners. Really well done. Now stuck at a 1v1 as well, too. He's waiting for the defuse, watching. He's just sticking, and Foreign does it again. AG up 7.
Ooh, talk about sticking. That was sticky. I mean, Burger Boys, they managed to do really well. Like, during ecos, I'm always here like, you know, they're gonna lose. But they managed to do so well in terms of catching their timings, getting it down to just Nanners. And the way Nanners played that 1v1, you gotta give the stars and stripes to them, as well as the rest of the roster. They are still feeling themselves. They are still having that and showing that mechanical prowess. But at the end of the day, AG's and all Guardians' way of playing this map and going for those retakes with their composition just works in their favor ever so consistently. That round specifically, though, that was just a lot of aiming.
Cover going out.
Yeah, I mean, Burger Boys came up on top early on too. They got 2 quick picks. They took out Sci-Fi on the close angle, but from here, they've got to find a way to at least make this 7-5. Now, albeit Lotus on defense, you know, maybe a different story once to get their weapons online, but nonetheless, for now, though, for AG, holding similar angles, a triple push shot onto B, though, a bit more unorthodox what we've seen from them previously, is they want to completely flank them on A.
This looks a little like the only thing similar was probably that second round when they, or the third round or something, when they try to go for an eco play, but I wonder how it's going to play for them, because if they are trying to play to contain towards the A site, get the plant down, use some of the ultimates that they have, potentially the Yoru ult, potentially even Duck popping theirs for that, there's a bit of a chance for them to, you know, contain Burger Boys, keep this burger in its wrapper.
Right. Foreign again, though, there's the dimensional drift used to find where the rest of the team is, though. Duck now gone. Poseidon to contend with the rest of the team, taking away Body, ready for the pop-out this time. No Paranoia for the support. And Practo and the rest of the team finally managed to find something there. Practo clutching it by a hair's length. A triple kill. And Burger Boys keep themselves in the game.
You ever been to a nice burger joint? Yeah, you open that wrapper up. The moment it opens, you know, something always spills out when you take your first bite. And that's kind of what happened in that round. As soon as, you know, I think Burger Boys started to figure out, okay, these guys are going to try and contain us onto the site. We need to kind of fight up ahead. And they did just that. That plus, you know, it was a little funny. Bonnie missed some of the utility, but Bonnie's still Bonnie. Just goes in, kills the rest of them. Is that pickle that slips out on that first bite and just manages to take over that round, giving them the 5th, which is exactly what you talked about that they needed to try and even out the scoreline. And now, if they pick up the pistol, it should be even better in their favor, even out even more. Well, words, they could be hard sometimes, but should even out better in their favor. For AG though, they want the pistol so they can maintain their dominance here. The 6-ish rounds that they picked up in a row.
Right, yeah, it was, which is quite an impressive streak for themselves, but we'll see. Burger Boys can hopefully stop that. They find Bonnie close. Has to run away. The concuss now lands. Tree now in. Bonnie again. Good shock bolts to stop the immediate pushing and repositions back in the exact same corner angle, but AG, no, they're a bit smart of this. They don't want to commit to this here right now. So instead, they'll keep their attention and instead open the door, but pushing out for fake as they'll just move themselves outwards.
making a bit of noise towards B and dealing some damage, and then rotating out here on the early pistol to try and secure it because they have that wall. They can threaten the walk up. Is so nice. And now that they just 5-stack into A for making that noise, they kind of read it right that Burger Boys does stack more in favor towards B and C side of this map. Retro's the only one here. Has a bit of utility to spot them, but it doesn't use it, and that's gonna be a bit tough.
Spike planted.
Let's bide his time, wait for where their position once needed, once the team does come in though. But there's Retro with a pop out, Poseidon gone, outside the smoke as well too, I believe. So now from here, those all face forward. And 1 and 2 taking quick succession. Dog, beautiful work. Be able to take out 3 as the rest of the team was right in front of him. A triple kill. He's saving this pistol on pick by a pick over by a mountain. Retro's trying to find 1, can't do it. And a lead Tillo by himself. No flashes, no util. Have to clear out the second. Don't clear in the corner. He has 2 bullets and the time is against him, unfortunately. It has to go to half. He runs out. And the pistol goes in AG's favor.
Dominance continues, right? Round previous was just a call it a little slip up is what they're gonna say, at least the people who win write the narrative. At this point, AG, and honestly, because AG is now, you know, on that attacking side, they have the double duelist. They have shown us that they are really good at getting into space and re-clearing and fighting. Honestly, it should set them up for a lot of success. They're trying to do the same thing Burger Boys did and take up the 3 rounds early. But the thing for Burger Boys that I kind of wanted to say about it was like, I talked about this with Sideshow of like the meta currently being a bit more plant denial, and part of me thought maybe Retro was gonna try to do that with the Haunt and like slow them down, but because you're alone there, you really can't do much. And as soon as they got onto the site, it did get a little muddy. But with AG winning the fight and stalling out that timer as much as they did, it just goes to show that like that's why it's part of the meta right now. Of like you don't want the plant to go down because teams can just, you know, win the round off of timing and making sure that you not only go into a muddy fight but also stall out those players as much as possible.
Right, and we saw that from AG previously where they were playing pretty heavy-handed and forward against Burger Boys to deny them a plan. But even if it did go down, they were just so good in the retakes that the factor wasn't necessarily even prevalent. Nonetheless, though, full save except for Tillo on the side of Burger Boys, where previously they were able to actually almost get a bonus back for themselves here too. But 1 here would be phenomenal, but does not seem to be in the cards. Again, AG full over towards A as this gamble stack on C not working out. A wide open. Burger Boys about to move in as 5. Try to get something back here.
30 seconds left.
With 30 seconds, they're just gonna get that plant. They put a lot of respect on Burger Boys here trying to play that. The thing is, Poseidon is down towards B, so it's just a matter of taking a timing, and they have the better weapons. So.
Okay. Speaking of timings, that was clean. No one actually even looked at Poseidon too, not even aware that he was there. So it'll leave them fractured with 2. And with 4 to go up against, they'll have to walk their way in. They might be able to get 1, but like for Burger Boys, they'll be all by next round. They have to plan to try to get something back here. Remember we were saying previously, they don't want to get snowball necessarily, and a 9-5 scoreline is not ideal because they do not get the next. Then things look really tough. That's 1 though, but it'll be a consolation prize.
Just a little something at the end, I guess. At the end of the day, though, we talked about this, where it's like Burger Boys are pretty solid on this map, but AG's composition, as well as the fact that, you know, Alliance Guardians were really solid in their own right in the previous time that they went up against each other. It just goes to show that I don't think Burger Boys have, you know, had the time more than ever to play and like plan against Guardians here.
Right.
Guardian, my bad, Liz. I'm sorry.
They'll take early as well the orb to try to build up bounties off they can, which I don't believe we actually saw any of in the previous round either. No chance to use the overdrive, but Rakto facing first, a fake TP gonna make him look, but just playing mind games with him right now. Burger Boys are kind of flinching at every instance of this too. They'll walk their way out of C, right? Just keep the attention still triple stacked up and no early rotations. I mean, AG again have the time.
And because they have Omen so far up towards A, they're going to know of those early rotates. It's
Right.
on AG to try and work this map a bit more. The timing for Retro to fall away is going to allow Viper to slip in.
The smoke though, but a rubble fight might be imminent here as well, as we're looking at Nanners to go in, walk up against 3 as he pulls the fake Yoru play. And I believe Max get no, that's fine. That was the clone. He
Retro didn't spot Poseidon. Poseidon's going to be able to backstab here. Wait a minute. This is so interesting because it's like a double flank on a flank.
He just wraps around again and again, but two still taken. Poseidon still got an idea that was great, but execution not able to land. They kind of overcooked a little bit.
I was like, the timing on that, the moment it didn't get spotted, I was like, wait a minute. So Poseidon needs to pop off here, and then it's going to be another round for Alliance Guardian. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. A bit unlucky. But regardless, because they've had such a couple of rounds in a row, they managed to win them out here. They still have the better buy going into round 16.
It isn't too bad. I mean, we were saying previously that this was a necessary round for Burger Boys, right? They needed this, man. They at least get guns in their hands, and now they want to stay in this map. They gotta make their stand. Nanners has to pretend he's 10s, fight Rubble, get an ace, but what enough here, bro? What do you got for us, man?
Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. But they're gonna have to back out because of all this pressure.
Yeah, just trades taken as well. Bonnie takes the first well too after all the initial Utah was traded, but Ducknut gone, so I mean the Burger Boys can actually play a bit safer. Still watch his door angle, spam through, no one around. Instead, we'll use all the faded Utah to walk past into smoke. They go. Nanners with the first. And Tillo alongside Retro to find the rest of them as well too, as they make their positioning very well known, unfortunately. And they'll have to move over to B, but the audioless is happening. Repetto can't stop it.
And now they're going to be able to get this plant down. There's still a touch of utility for Foreign. And I'm looking at Scythe. He has uses the tether already, but he's very close to his ultimate here.
Oh, Bonnie, this timing is beautiful. Complete wraparound sandwiched in. And I'll see Swarnigas as well, too. Oh, tries to get with the classic. Not going to happen. Still has a headshot, though. So, but Foreign, one body shot away from being taken away. Can make some difference again, Retro. But a double swing will secure the round for Burger Boys as they continue their streak.
It's really similar to how Alliance Guardian, when they played, they always had like one player alive in the end on their retakes, and it seems like Burger Boys is taking note of that and not, I mean, yes, you do have the setup here for Bonnie to go and kill and take that forward momentum, but even in that round, Bonnie was allowing AG to kind of push into them rather than going for early aggro, and because of that, they are rewarded with a round here. 2 in a row means the economy is booming. The Odin is going to be in full effect here as well. I saw it right before we went to the replays. And I love the Odin, but at the same time, it's going to be very funny to see how Burger Boys is going to implement it.
It's time to play the real Lotus as we get scored. Man, Bonnie with the first right away. Okay. Poppy got a B, taken 2, albeit to save, right? So we're not expecting a lot from this round from AG, but I think if they take 2, it's not a bad time as Ego is the complete stable for Burger Boys as of yet. Good shot. First taken 4 and gone. And Sci-Fi alongside the Util can't contend against the rest of the guns that are there and present for Burger Boys. A full stack. They read the play and they keep on going.
That's going to be very close here. It's starting to get caught up for Burger Boys specifically. That timeout really helped them, and it seems like for both teams.
Yep.
And as I say it, it comes on through. For Burger Boys, they are close. They are 1 off for 2 ultimates, not only for the Rolling Thunder, but also for Omen Ulti, the mind-blanking one that I can't remember. From the Shadows. There we go. Got it. It's a skill check right there. On the flip side, the thing that I was going to say is Riker could go potentially for a Raise Rocket, but they managed to just get taken out super soon. And I mean, at this point for Alliance Guardian, they've been doing a lot in terms of trying to get into certain spaces, and you know, they had that Overcook round where they were working the map. So I think this is just going to be resetting part of their game plan.
Yeah, I think I need to see a bit more mid running from AG because it's become pretty consistent with what we saw in the previous round, right? Which was like, all right, they'll probably go C, they'll probably go A, they'll trade a couple dogs, maybe a haunt, can't do it, go C, right? It's just like, that's what ends up being except the 1 round like we were mentioning. So I want to be able to understand like how they actually maneuver on the map. But to be fair though, Burger Boys are doing a really good job of being shut down, you know, like any close movements that they possibly had. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, we'll see what the pivot and changes for AG. This is the round they took the timeout for. They have 3 ultimates online. This should be big.
So, by the way, Sci-Fi
Yeah.
Sci-Fi is the IGL, but Duck does go for the mid-rounding a little bit here. So, we're talking about that mid-rounding. It's a bit hard because Duck has been one of those standout players. He's been going for frags. So it's going to be falling on Scythe a little more to go for mid-rounding calls here, especially on the attack side of this map.
I mean, well, speaking of mid-rounding, here it is, right? Well, they'll try to move themselves around B at least as they work the map as they have previously, right? But playing a 2-1-2 at this point is they'll inch closer to C. And Burger Boys have already kind of read into this as we're moving Bonnie over to C as well. Once again, the smoke early on up top on Mount. Riker, I believe, has just spotted him, triggers the wall. They have to move away. And Spike already moving towards the other side as they're trying to move up into A. But again, Nat is up by rubble. He's maintained the position so consistently. The timing's going to be a massive. Sees Foreign, he's gone. The second also there, Poseidon as well, in some trouble, but he has 2 there. The dog clean, and Poseidon now also taken away. 2 members removes effectively and efficiently from AG. Burger Boys have finally found their stride on this defensive side.
30 seconds left.
At this point, what can you do? You have to fight into it. Bonnie's the last line of defense, and at this point, it's a matter of just finding that last player.
Easy.
Oh! Winnable, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, but, you know, albeit they got to.
No.
Yeah.
I'm hard trolling when I say that, but it's 9-9 on the board now. That's going to be the key thing for Burger Boys. The fact that they brought it back. Another huge component of it is that they really didn't invest much in terms of ultimates. It was a lot of fighting and timings. AG did go for the slow play, but they really needed to find an opening pick, which seems like Burger Boys knew. And Burger Boys, they have, I don't want to say too much, but they do generally have players that have proven themselves to be stronger individually. As for AG, that is, we've seen a couple of stars shine, but it's a little bit of a different dichotomy.
We'll have to see how this match shape up, though. But unfortunately, same A lean, use the overdrive. You can right off the rip, just remove them. Right, it might as well be an eco ult at this point because he couldn't fight back against all of that. Zip, zap, zooey, and they're gone.
This was a smash burger with how fast it was cooked. That round. That's all I can think of. I literally have no analysis. It's just like, yeah, no, he literally went and Bonnie legitimately was like, I'm going to be the laser that turns you into a delicious meal, like, brr, and done. Op in play, another op for Bonnie. So we're going op Odin yet again for the Burger Boys.
I mean, you might as well, right? You got so much money, but considering, let's see where Bonnie's actually placed, though. Again, early C, start to peek out towards Mount with no one seen there, but Odin also, same span, they have to lean towards back to where they should be afraid as they get taken away. The dimensional drift is nice. Sees Bonnie close. They have to see what's happening. So at least remove Bonnie for the angle, so no early picks from their end. A good play at least. So that could have been disastrous if they all walked into him, but so this time to play it safe and rotate.
So now they should know that there's Bonnie. I don't know if they know if he has an op exactly, but they do know Vise is there. I think that's the main reason why they don't want to fight this. But Nanners, they were an X factor in the previous round. Can they do it again?
Yeah.
No, they get caught.
Yeah, showstopper though. Ooh, finds him in the corner. Nice first pick by Riker, and the investments are working out so far. Those double investment in terms of the ult from AG. And they'll go right back to C as they know, okay, you know, they've moved themselves over, and the rest of the Burger Boys have already gone towards A. The side is wide open. They can do whatever they want at this point.
I like the fakes that they're throwing here. It's going to really throw Burger Boys for a loop in terms of the mid-rounding. But the ultimates are still here and available for Burger Boys.
Exactly, and there's the Nightfall alongside Poseidon's pit. 4 ultimates put into this round to ensure they get their something back. Pacto now gone, Riker taking the third, and Retro and Bonnie left. I think they know that it's the power weapons. They can try to get one maybe, but with the Odin op, they probably want to save this. Obviously can't get a spam kill, so they'll wean themselves away.
Oh.
Players standing.
Of course,
Unlucky.
Riker's now gonna slip on into here, and he gets the ace. That's beyond a consolation prize. That's when you win first place, and they are like, "Oh, hey, we have extra stuff to give you now because you won first." And it's like, here's your prize money, and on top of that, you get a cherry sundae. Delicious. But the fact that they managed to not only lock down the site, but also prevent Burger Boys from using any of those ultimates by fighting into the face of these players, just being like, Rikers, stop them from ulting us, please. Just send it, is going to be awesome. He used his ultimate, got an ace, those ult orbs are back up. What more can you want from your duelist?
I mean, maybe you know.
Maybe you know.
Oh, wait, no way Foreign doesn't get punished for that. He stayed alive. With the shot outtaken, that is huge from them. They put under so much pressure now here, but Riker early in, the paranoia is good. The takedown almost too. But still being taken away does not necessarily remove the threat of Retro either, as they'll make the way past B into C, but it's just a door fake at this point. Haven't fully committed here either, nor should they, I think. They realize that the pressure now early on hasn't necessarily been removed, and with Burger Boys, they're playing a lot slower this time. They're not necessarily moving all their forces over early either.
Poseidon gonna go for it? No,
Shouldn't.
I thought he was gonna go for maybe triggering that wall and getting back into it, but the stack is moving towards the C site. The problem is you still have Practo on the site who can stall out this site hit with the Steel Garden.
Bonnie early as well too, flash not pop, and they're just watching both angles. Either one could swing. Bonnie getting confident. And with the smoke now down, is going to look to play right up front. Flash is clean. And Foreign takes away the threat of Steel Garden, but you're right up close. Switching weapons, the wrong timing. Practo unlucky on that, and we'll just be down to 2 by the end of it. Retro and Nat is trying to spam, and Burger Boys know they have to fight this. They have to make the way back in, but with 4 alive in the round, just unlucky times for Burger Boys not able to find much at all. See, good comms, that's huge. Well, Doc taking Paranoia should be next. Well, they gotta find a way out of this, but he finds himself in the smoke, and Matters can't maneuver his way. Retro was close to getting the trade, but with 3 up against him, it's almost an impossibility. AG finally move up.
Practo, the ultimate prevents your opponents from using weaponry, whips out the classic at the wrong time, and at that point, that little card falls and the rest of the tower crumbles upon it. And I think, unfortunately, right, when you make sure you got to have the base of the bun, then maybe lettuce or something else, but like you got to make sure you have that structure there. And as soon as it fell apart, AG was able to capitalize off of it. And at this point now, it's getting so close to it. The rounds are going back and forth so often that they could start taking this early lead. It's a full buy here for Burger Boys. They have to force up into this.
Poison's off.
Not wrong, and a crucial round right for Burger Boys. But for AG, some solace finally given away, but both of them, right, the eco looks rough. Both of them have to survive, and both of them need this round if they are to take Lotus, which is Burger Boys' pick, mind you, but one that Alliance has come out on top of consistently over Burger Boys. They'll take the ult orb, and again, similar positions. They should know to check Fernandez by Rubble. And alongside Retro there for the setup, the Paranoia now there, and gonna use the ults to skid out a lot that does not want to be caught. Retro plays heavy-handed, he goes up front to center, but Sci-Fi found the timing. There's the Odin taken away. Unlucky, but 1 from 1. The wall not being is not gonna be great for the rest of AG, but at least a moment to breathe.
The worst part here, though, is that you have these rotates coming through. Tillo has gotten up to his ultimate. And for Burger Boys, it's going to be crucial to play off of that for the retake. They try to go back towards C. This is where a lot of muddy fights have happened. We'll see if Practo can hold this time.
Practo decided. Yeah, no, he wants to move away. They died to the spikes. Oh, that is unlucky and not what you want to see out of Sci-Fi, but still the advance by that is keeping it close. Bonnie now in. He gets ready to get some action. Wants to get active on the side, allows Pactor to move in. Bonnie up when it matters most.
Yeah, sorry, my brain did not function when I saw Bonnie's first kill. No, how did Bonnie get the first kill? How did Bonnie get that first kill?
Slide and glide, baby. That's it.
Slide and glide, literally, Ravish, literally, because that first kill opened things up. Bonnie taking out Duck and then just dominating and being the star of the show here on the spearhead push, just being that tip to enter and break through the Guardians is just lovely to watch. And I think that was literally the way that they won that round. It's just like, all right, we're just going to send this ultimate and you're going to go in with the support of the rest of our team. You can also say Practo finding one, a little spike factory if anyone's a balloon tower defense enjoyer, but yeah.
From here, those made the win to beat. Those watching this too. Second will be crucial, but unfortunately not able to stop it. Nonetheless, from here, they know the B being an option, they'll at least get some space back for themselves. And this is a classic AG move. They'll probably take 1-for-1 and move immediately out of the site. They just remove it as an option and maybe double back here, but instead, A seems to be where they want to move in.
I mean, Foreign does have this ultimate to try and clear out a huge chunk of the front of A site, allowing people to get set in. So it's a matter of how well they can hold on to the site once they get the plant down, because it seems like Burger Boys is going for that retake. Maybe anti? No, they might be pulling up for the anti.
Oh no, Hans is nice. He has to actually shoot it. Unfortunately, it was a 1-for-1 by the end of it. For Pacto and Retro actually makes this even. We also even have Nanos also waiting around the wings. He has to move in now, though. Offside by Tree. It's clean. Move themselves back. Get the spike down, but really at what cost? So 2v1. Nanos again waiting for his timing. Pops out when needed. And Burger Boys on match points.
That should do such a good job on that retake. Nanners waiting for the timing, forces Sci-Fi to pop forward. Unfortunately, you know, teammate wasn't able to capitalize, but Nanners was, allowing them to get to match point here. I think more than that, I just love the way that Burger Boys is able to like bring it back. Like the mental that they didn't need a timeout to reset themselves. They just were like, okay, we're gonna try and play a little bit better, play the basic Valorant that we need to play off of our ultimates, play off of each other.
And here is where AG must make their stand. They're one for the showstopper, at least so. And they've seen that be used to great effect as well. To move creep players on Burger Boys' side, but if you're Burger Boys, you want to send this home. Practo, this timing could be a little bit dangerous, at least spots one, so.
I mean, look at where Bonnie's already pulled up.
Yeah, he's already done that, right? Yeah, like you said, Bonnie looks to sandwich them in if he can, but they'll give up B, playful retake. They don't have any big retake ultimates, if anything, but they want to try to make sure they keep them close. Shorty up. So there's the trade angle. Right actually gets Nanners. So no trade necessarily needed. This shows what we're talking about. Tillo actually trade that, but for now, for Burger Boys, you're in a 4v4.
They're gonna go for the retake. They have this more or less contained.
So the spam's a little close, trying to find anybody around the smoke. You had to play this so carefully. One bullet as well remaining for Bonnie. Shock bolts in the center. They can make the way in. Bonnie and Retro clean with it. The spam not working. Cypher left alive, and he wants to run in. He wants the triple. Bonnie closes it out, and it ends as it starts. Burger Boys on top with the first map.
I like how both of these teams have extremely similar strategies in terms of the way they play retake. Not going for anti, instead just being like, okay, we are going to allow them to plant and retake with it. But the difference is that they have a bit more utility for Burger Boys. And I think that utility allowed for the flexibility and adaptations that we saw in some of the mid-rounding.